Part 6. Symbol Om. This symbol of Om, it appears nobody can give a proper explanation as to the design, what it means. Okay? So I defining and analyzing this Om symbol from Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, we must know most of the verses of Bhagavad Gita are identifying something, some person, some object. And the science is to find what this verse is saying. This is an example here to understand the science. And it has nothing to do with humans. You know, let's see who is this verse identifying? Bhagavad Gita 7:8. I am the tasting water, O son of Kunti, and the radiance of the sun and the moon. I am the sacred syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and the ability in humans. Now, sacred syllable Om, this is what I'm referring to, equals sound of 0 to 9. The sound of 0 to 9. Om. That is what it means. From 0 to 9, the numbers are what you express in this syllable. The verse describes the syllable Om with one vowel sound. One vowel sound. Radiance of sun and moon. This is what it is. This here, this curve or semicircle is identifying time. This is time from sun and moon traveling daylight and nighttime, and 14,000 years. Right. Letters A. This is letter A. Letter A is represented as a dot. So we put it, meaning 0 to Sanskrit number 9 equals to 10 numbers. So that identifying the 10 numbers. This is telling you about the 10 numbers. This is number 9 written in Sanskrit. This is how it is written here. You put it upside down like this or sideways, and this is what you get. So this is 0 to 9. This is the 0 to 9 numerals. Dot letter A again equals to 0. That is 0. To Sanskrit number 3. This is plain number 3 in Sanskrit. Equals to 4 yugas. That is the 4 yugas we deal here with. The 4 yugas. All right. This is chart number 33. Now, so you have 0 to 3 equating to the 4 yugas, and you have 0 to 9 equating to the 10 numbers. Right? So this is what this Om sign or symbol is all about. Now, how do we get the letter A? How you start you start this 0, and how it is shaped more similar to A. This is what the verse is saying. Bhagavad Gita 17:28. 0, state that 0 is not. Refer to Asat. Asat is the first letter you start in the Om sign with, meaning A. All right? Bhagavad Gita 10:33. Om begins with letter A. That verse is telling you that. Therefore, A to 9 Time of 0 to 9 is 14,000 years. This is the time. This is giving you the time, the semicircle. And 8 to 3, time of 0 to 3 is 14,000 years. Sun and moon at time of 14,000 years. This is what it is. So I have analyzed the Ohm sign. And I expect to hear people complain or refute so that they can present a better explanation. 14,000 years. Now, I've explained that in the last video and many times before. And I was approached again and I had to explain it. But this now is in your Bhagavad Gita. So I'm going to make another explanation for 14,000 years. One day, one night, one division, any one of the division there equals 1,000 years. The verse that presents 1,000 years is Bhagavad Gita 8:17. So I'll read it. Those yogis who know from realization Brahma's day as covering 1,000 Mahayugas, and so his night as extending to another 1,000 Mahayugas, know the reality about time. Brahma's day 1,000 years in time is each division. Each division is a day. That's Brahma's day or Lord's day in Bible. Brahma's night 1,000 years in time is each division. So we are clear that the division, it is not 24 hours a day. It's a division of 1,000 years. So we're going now to find the 7,000 years traveling night and 7,000 years traveling daylight. Time, daylight, 7 days, 7 divisions. This is how we go. We're going to get the 7 days, 7 divisions here. Okay? Of the two parts, the one is that in which are stationed the all-effulgent fire god and the deities presiding over daylight, the bright fortnight. Bright fortnight means you're traveling only daylight, 12 hours a day. So if you're traveling a bright fortnight, you're really traveling 7 days. So 7 days is the 7 division, which equals to 7,000 years. And the 6 months of the northward course of the sun, respectively, proceeding along it after death, yogis who have known Brahma, being successively led by the above gods, finally reach Brahma. Now, 2 parts, day travel is 7 divisions in time. Station fire god, that is Agni. They are at, you see, there is where you have Agni time. This is time here. And all these gods are traveling. Daylight is 7 days, meaning 7,000 years. Deities and other gods traveling through 7,000 years, daylight travel. The bright fortnight is 7 days, daylight 7,000 years. 6 months, they're talking about 6 months north and 6 months south. 6 months is making reference to the 6 divisions and the resurrections and death. So you have 6 on the 6th Vedi. On the 6th Vedi here, they're referring to the 6th Vedi here, 3 and 3/6. Right? After death, meaning after first resurrection is first death. That is over here. The first death. Somewhere over there. Anyway, yeah, first death is here. 0 and number 1. After 0 and number 1. Reach Brahma, reach 14,000 years, is to reach Agni. Agni is also Brahma. These 5 gods is an entity of Brahma. This is number 9, chart number 32. That's number 9, chart number 32. So we do a 7,000 years journey there, and that was daylight. And we're going to do the night. Bhagavad Gita 8:25. The other part, you see, the other part that we're referring to is that the 18 forms come back to 0 to start a new book. Right? is that wherein are stationed the gods presiding over smoke, night, the dark fortnight, and the 6 months of the southward course of the sun. The yogi devoted to action with an interested motive, taken to this path after death, like after first death, okay, is led by the above gods, one after another, and attaining the lust of the moon, and enjoying the fruit of the meritorious deeds in heaven, return to this mortal world. This is the 18 forms that left the body, 378 forms, to return to zero, and then to start the journey for another book. The whole exercise is to write the books, the Vedas. Other part is night travel, dark fortnight, 7 nights, 7 divisions in time. 6 months is on 6 Vedi, right? Plus 0 is 7 divisions in time. Southward, 7,000 years. After that, after first resurrection, after 0 is first death. 6 months, 6 Vedi is 14,000 years. Above gods is referring to 5 gods on journey. Returns to the mortal world, returns to 0 to start a new journey. This is what this other verse is saying. So there we have it, the 14,000 years. 14,000 years is a fixed time of all the scriptures. Hindu scriptures. Bible is a Hindu scripture too. Okay? Right, so we're going to 14,000 years timeline. Chart number 33. Now is this chart here. Above 3 verses have presented a timeline of 14,000 years from start of scriptures. Now we must find a signpost to anchor the timeline, 14,000 years. Signpost is CE calendar. CE calendar is 2,000 years ago. Started at 1 CE. How can we float timeline to nail onto signpost? Because if you have a 14,000 years timeline, where, in what position or what place can you anchor it to say, well, it is anchored in this position, and we can say 13,500 so and 500 so. Where can we do that? How can we do that? So, the signpost in the major signpost at this present time is the CE calendar, when it started at 2,000 years. But yet, how can we anchor this 14,000 years there? You have to calculate time from 0 on Siddhantic calendar to when CE calendar was delivered, or when CE calendar left Siddhantic calendar. This comes like a train taken off from the station and has to make a delivery of the CE calendar. So what time did that happen? In the Siddhantic calendar, we know that the CE calendar started at 1 CE and now it's 2,000 years, right? Genesis presents 13,000 years. You have to calculate now. You have to calculate. Genesis itself presents 13,000 years travel. Joshua presents 480 plus 20 forms, equals to 500 years. Total 13,500 years when CE calendar left Siddhantic calendar. So there we have an anchor now that you can calculate from Genesis 13,000 years and from Joshua 500 years, meaning 13,500 years of travel before the CE calendar was established or constructed. CE began at 13,501. You see? 1 year. Or 1 CE. This is 1 CE here. Children of Israel leaving Egypt after 480 years refer to CE calendar leaving Siddhantic calendar. So what we have done here now, we have established that where this 14,000 years can be anchored, so that we can know it is 13,500 BCE and then 500 CE. So there's where we're making the separation. You have to calculate the time travel from the scriptures itself. In Bhagavad Gita, they present each one of the Hindu scriptures. Mahabharata state is they divide between 2,000 and 12,000 years. Ramayana, 12,000 and 2,000 years. And Bhagavad Gita is 13,000 and 1,000. Bible is 13,005 and 500 years. So that is how all the scriptures is that we can know the time that it was constructed. Now it is for people to find out from the Hindu scriptures itself what can they use to anchor, because they don't seem to have a date where the scriptures was constructed. Which one they have no knowledge on that. Everybody is guessing. So this could give you an idea. The Bible itself has the dates for each one of those scriptures. So it is easy to go back and find. And you see in the Bible, they put Solomon building a temple. And you will see in one place he took 20 years to build a temple. Another place he took 13 years. Another place he took 11 years. And another place he took 7 years. How many temples was Solomon building? And everybody put in the Jewish temple was built by Solomon. So we wonder how many temples that this Solomon was building. When you look at it, what you are looking at is temple mentioned in Bible. All the temples mentioned in Bible are not a temple per se. It is the scripture itself that they were constructing. So Solomon is an entity. Solomon were Hindus, right? Constructing the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Bible. So he gave a timeline for the Bible, 7 years. That is easily pinpointed in my past videos. They started at 69 CE and finished at 76 CE. This is how we get the 76, first 76 CE, where Jesus was born, relating that to the Bible. The Bible was born on 76 CE. So to find the dates, I don't think it should be such a difficult task, but nobody seemed to have any knowledge as to when these books were created. Who created them? I stated that all of these books that were constructed were by Hindus, Hindu exiles who left India and traveled to foreign lands to teach cannibals and ancestrophiles, because everybody outside of India were cannibals and ancestrophiles. So they wrote down the history of their experiences in manuscripts. And it is the manuscript that they took back to India. That is what they take to construct the book. Now the manuscripts are the truth. In Bible and all the books, the manuscripts are the truth. The scripture themselves are metaphors. The authors wrote it in such a way that you have to find the truth from the manuscripts, and not to take the word for word as stated in scriptures, because you will be lost. I see, like for instance, looking at the pundits in the past few days, you will see the problem they're having. And in every puja or kata, you will see, if you observe clearly, you will see they're doing the traveling up to this point. And when they reach this point, there is always a sad note. The child died, the head born without a head, or lost, or something like that. And this is where they close their kata. They have no knowledge. They have to travel another. Like for instance, if they reading from Ramayana, you have 2,000 years to travel after you reach this point. Meaning the transformation from, because they're writing from the manuscript, and it's from the manuscript. This is a child born, you know. This is not a real living person. This is a book they're constructing. So what you do now, it is from the manuscript, you create the book. And once you create the book, it's the first resurrection of the book. And the book itself has no life, so it's our first death. So in each case, a child born in third heaven, on the eighth heavens here, always born, stillborn, dead, or is shown to be lost, or a head missing. I don't know how the pundits teaching this thing as real and everybody just listening to that. You have to find the truth, what it means. You making these statements and having all these people from small, I'm hearing that. You have to make sense. This is science. It is not a story that you're telling. The author wrote it in such a manner that you have to find the truth. And not to relay the truth back to everybody and pass on the metaphor, because you're just passing on a lie and expect everybody to accept that. In this case, they were the baby born without a head or lost the head or something. So they went and they got a elephant head and put it on the baby. Can that be real? I don't know who's teaching who there, but you sitting down and listening to this rubbish that they're teaching. I want to know if they don't know that this is science. This has nothing to do with a story. All these things written in scriptures are actual history written by Hindus, Hindu exiles that took back this manuscript to India. It is the authors that wrote it in metaphorical form. So you have to unravel it to find the truth. That is all. Well, that's it there. Thanks very much for listening.